And now, from Brooklyn, New York, he's the podcaster that's bringing the real heat to the Sunshine State, the host of Ring Fever, Michael El Rey.
His name is Michael El Rey.
That's right, folks. You're listening to Ring Fever, a special episode tonight. We got to change the mood here in the Indies. Everyone think the whole state of Florida's in cahoots. Everyone think we out here starting riots. We're going to have to change the attitude. That's my plan tonight. So the only way for me to change the attitude is to invite this young man right here. None other than TV Attitude, folks. TV, what's going on?
What's going on, man? It's good to be
What's
here.
going on, man?
Good to
North,
finally be here. I've been watching your episodes. You've been killing it, man. I'm glad to be on the show.
North Florida wrestler, TV Attitude. Now, the reason why I say North Florida is because it's a big state. I don't want people to think CB's involved with all the Tampa, Orlando riffraff. But anyway, besides that, what's going on with you, brother?
Man, not much. Not much, at least outside of the ring. In-ring a lot, and a lot of good stuff has been going on up here in North Florida, across the Panhandle, into Georgia and Alabama. Man, I've been having fun. Trying to get maybe further south towards the Miami area at some point this year. I've made some really cool and very healthy collaborations throughout the last couple years of my career. Teaming up with some very influential people in the industry has helped me raise up to the next level.
I seen you teaming up with Vernon Black.
Yeah. Vernon's been
Yeah.
fun, man. We
How did
started
that
off,
happen?
we started off not exactly being keen of each other. I'm not really into. I'm a sports car guy, not a biker
Yeah.
guy. But you beat the hell out of each other enough times, you realize you might have something in common.
Yeah,
And
it surprised me because I'm like one of the guys that's always preaching bookers to book him because inside and outside of the ring he's just very professional, and me and him we got a lot of shit in common. It's like I like bikes, he likes bikes. But I'm surprised that you're not a bike guy. I'm really surprised.
nah, man, I can be a little bit of a daredevil when there's a motor underneath me, and I like four wheels better than two, and I like having fenders around me because if I do something stupid, less likely chance of dying. So I respect them. I have nothing wrong, nothing against them. Just I like the safety precaution of having doors.
All right, like I feel you.
Yeah,
Nah, the thing is that he could basically tell you, like, when you're the Harley dog, you don't really try to do all that stupid shit.
yeah,
It's more like crotch rocket motherfuckers that jump on and they want to like riff raff and shoot all the willies and stuff. Harleys are not made for that. So like when you sit on a Harley and like you feel that engine roar, even Indians and stuff,
and well,
you get into the zone, bro.
yeah,
You're not gonna do that. Like you'd be stupid like to it's an $80,000 bike, bro. You don't wanna
right,
you know what I mean? Like them little PP bikes on the highway, bro. Them shits are like $600-700, man. They're
yeah.
not even worth anything.
Yeah, no, the other concern is just the other drivers. I've honestly lost several friends to just people not paying attention and hitting bikes, and
Yeah.
that's always a concern as well because it's already dangerous driving in Florida, let alone taking away like two wheels and being only on two wheels. So anybody that's out there on a bike, I got mad respect for them because you're risking your life every time you hop on one driving here in Florida, no matter if you're on a country
Oh
road or
yeah.
a highway.
Uh,
So. I
yeah.
respect everybody that's on them, but that's where the respect for Vernon came in, and we had some opportunities. And if anything, I got to put over the Love Alive charity here in Jacksonville, Florida, ran by none other than the Pope Elijah Burke.
All
Uh,
right. I went to one of his shows one time. I know what you're talking about. It's in a church, right?
yeah, Murray Hill. We actually have a show coming up it's already this weekend. We have a really big show coming up. It is the Beast Invitational Tournament. It's actually a tribute to Shad Gaspard. It's an annual event that started last year, and it is to pay tribute to Shad. And there's a big tournament for the Beast Cup It's a huge trophy. But myself and Vernon were tag team champions with the Love Alive charity. We won that back in January at Duval Brawl, and we'll be defending those championships right here in Jacksonville next Saturday night.
So I usually like check up on these things, and there's a lot of scammers in Florida, and
Yeah.
that's one of the guys I support because his money actually goes back to the homeless,
Yes.
and he doesn't profit off any of this.
No.
And all this stuff, like I keep saying, is public knowledge. That's
Yep.
gonna be like the key word, the little ding 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 ding.
Yeah.
Public knowledge. Nothing I say here is false. It's public knowledge, all right? Because people like, they there's so many rumors nowadays, but like
Yeah.
at least with this charity, like it's out there. Like,
Yep.
he's been on the news several times. He's always donated money. I think one year the books weren't that great because of Corona and stuff, and he went in his own pockets
Yep.
and put even more. So the Pope, even though the Pope is crazy on screen, what I mean, behind the scenes for charity, he takes a good, he has the heart for it, bro. Like he has a good story behind it, man. Like if you get deep into it, man, it'll put tears in your eyes. But how long have you been doing
Yep.
the Pope's charity work?
So I started with the Pope in 2023. Reached out to him, just wanted an opportunity. The main thing was to start booking local shows. I was traveling all throughout Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, Alabama, a couple shows in Louisiana, and I wanted,
I told you that. I
yeah,
don't wanna I don't start throwing dirt, but I told you when I had my hands on you, like, dude, why don't you wrestle?
yeah,
North Florida has no drama, dog.
yeah,
Even Donnie told you that. Donnie kept
yep.
telling you, hey, you'll like it better up there than
Yeah,
where you
and
at.
it just he gave me an opportunity, and I ran with it. I with being a resident here in Jacksonville and also being a business owner here in Jacksonville, giving back to this community
Okay.
is what it's all about because you look at it in a certain way. Without the community, there might not be, the Love Alive charity wouldn't be as successful as it is because the whole community comes together. My business may not be as successful as it is. And if we're able to give back to the less fortunate in this community where we're doing these shows, we're packing 200 people inside a small church and we're putting on a 3 hour banger of a show, and all that money goes to the charity, to the point where he does food drives, where he and
Yeah,
his
he does.
students goes out to McDonald's or Burger King, whatever it is, and just gets bags and bags and bags full of burgers and fries and whatever it is to donate to the homeless as full meals to them. And I haven't yet to be a part of their food drive. I would love to help out because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Is we do this because we love it. We do this because this is a business that's given something to us, so we're trying to give something back to it. And if you're able to do that and give to the less fortunate, that's what it's all about. So the Love Alive charity has been a big stepping stone for me in my career because look at it this way, El Ray. There's so many schools around here. There's so many trainers around here that anybody can buy a ring, open up a school, and say I'm going to train you. But when you get the opportunity to be under the learning tree of somebody that's been there, done that, and got the T-shirt like the Pope Elijah Burke and learn the right way, that's an opportunity you don't pass up on. And now
Yeah,
going 2 years strong with it,
he's very passionate.
very much so.
I've done I think like 3 shows with him already. One of them he's very passionate. Like if you act, you got to catch him at the right time because there's two popes. Everybody know, just like there's
Pope
two El
mode.
Rays. Yeah, Pope mode. That's what we call it. Pope mode.
Yeah.
When Pope is on his mode, bro, you just. But like
Yeah.
if you get him outside of him not promoting his own show, and like I did when I seen him in ARW, um, just as a fan, like I walk by and he's like, "All right, come in." And I'm like, all right, bet. He still remember
Yeah.
me because I did I went to one of his shows. He didn't have no one to like hold down his merchandise. And
Okay.
I told him, yeah, I got you. And he gave me the look. And then he was like, okay, what school you graduated from? So I gave him my info. And he was like, oh, Brooklyn. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. So he
Sometimes
just
that's all it
smiled, and
takes.
he just smiled, and he's like, yeah, you ain't gonna rob me, man. Yo, it's 25 for this, 15 for this, this for
Yeah.
this, this for this. And I sat there, I enjoyed myself. He came
Yeah.
back, you know, um, I told Tyrus, I was like, man, he made mad money tonight, man. I should just some, and we just started laughing, because I was
Yeah.
giving him all the bread, and he wanted to pay me off, and I was like, "No, I was just doing it as a favor."
Yeah, for sure. And
Because I came there to watch as a show, and when you're a part of the team, and they need help, sometimes you can't watch a show. You're like, "Yo, look, I'll help."
yeah, and it's the fact that he put trust in myself and Vernon to represent the charity as the tag team champions. That means a lot as well, because I can probably speak upon Vernon too. It means a lot to us, and putting in the work. And the one thing that we make sure that we do, and something that I've learned is, I guess you show that you want it, and that can be as little as handing out flyers. Since we're local cats, we can hand out flyers. Doing promos. There's so many people that are on these shows that just don't do promos. You do your promos. You share the flyers on your Facebook and your social media. It takes 10 seconds to click something and hit share. So it's showing that you
Not
really
only
want it.
that, not only that, my great public fight.
Yeah,
Dudes that come into my county and don't live here and try to promote. You
yeah,
guys live there. So like these people see you. These people go to your neighborhood. These people go to your grocery store. You see them
sure,
at your business. So you get a chance to talk to them, relate to them. So like when they go to the show, they have a little bit more emotional attachment.
for sure.
And just like they did in Ocala with you, because you were doing
Yeah,
adrenaline for so long that towards
yeah,
the end, everything was, you hear that CB attitude
yeah.
and they'll just go fucking nuts. But
And
it's
if I,
it's
if I
more
can
of a
talk about if I can talk about adrenaline real quick, now that you brought up adrenaline, I,
yeah,
I, I gotta say, Ray, that time, even though adrenaline was kind of just a quick flame that went out, for whatever reasons it is behind closed doors, man, did I have fun. If I can say anything about working adrenaline with y'all, minus the any kind of the drama or the storylines or the politics, blah blah blah, it was fun. No stress going in
yeah.
there and
I
just
I
having a
dog
blast.
I appreciate that right now. Like seriously, I got a headache and I just appreciate it right now
Yeah,
because honestly, bro, like a lot of people's been hitting me up, and I know you've seen the filler flyer that I put up and took out, and then I'm gonna
yeah,
put it up again. Um, I am working on something, but with someone else. I don't want to rebrand. I don't want to come back with the adrenaline name.
yeah. Of course.
Um, but what I do want to do is since I have a lot of people like you and other cats that like I've booked in the past and said, dude, we just had so much
Yeah.
fun, and I had so much fun because at the end of the day, bro, I always feel like all right, let's be real, bro. You got a business, I got a business, I work, you work, we make money. There's no money in this shit. So
No.
if there's no
No.
money in this shit, if
No.
there's no money in this shit, can we have fun?
Yeah.
Can
Yes.
we have fun? Can you bring us fans?
Yep.
I don't like performing in front of 10 people. It's not fun,
Right.
man. When it's like 100, 150 people and we're yelling and screaming and like it's just a different vibe. Like, you know
It
what I'm
is.
saying? But
It's a completely different vibe, and there I remember that first meeting you sat down with us on episode 1 or chapter 1. You're like, listen, this is how it was before. This is how it's going to be now. I'll be straight up with you. We might have 30, 40 people, or we might have 60, 80 people. That's literally what you told us in that office room. And I thought that was my first impression of you. That was the first time I met you or ever interacted with you. So I knew right away, all right, if this goes sideways, you're at least letting us know, hey, this could go sideways. And yourself and Thump, you guys kind of went to bat for me. Never knew me, never met me before. Just saw some of my stuff, and you guys paired me up with Sean O'Reilly right off the bat, and I'll never forget it because I was scared shitless because I never met Sean. I just left the school that I was at for a couple years. At that school, I'm not going to name it. I'm not going to talk about it, but it's a school that doesn't allow you to go anywhere else. So when I left that place, um,
listen, there's so many every school's
yeah,
like that out here
I
in
can tell you
Florida.
it's in North Florida, not the other
Oh,
side of
okay,
Florida.
okay,
So
okay.
yeah, but I'll never forget it because I'm so used to really going over my stuff, and the match before mine just finished, and Sean comes from outside. I just got done smoking a finish or smoking a cigarette, and I'm like, hey man, I know the finish. That's all I know. He goes, we'll figure it out. And I remember being scared shitless. because that was the first time ever just calling it, and Sean he took great care of me. Got hooked up with him and doing some fun stuff with SXPW from there, and that really helped ignite the fire under me. That's when I started going to CWF, Coastal Wrestling Federation out in Milton, Florida, which is, if I
Okay,
can.
that's the one Donnie's been telling me.
Yes. I
Yeah.
can say if you're within driving distance of there, that is a show to go to. You feel like you're at NXT at the
He needs
least.
to. So here's my thing with that. Like, he's been inviting me. He's vouched for me. He spoke to the promoter. The promoter knows about the podcast. He knows about the gimmicks. So he doesn't care about the shit that I say online. He finds it very comical. The only problem is that every time they have a show and I start looking up the address, either I have to do something the next day that
Yeah,
I have to be there super early,
yeah,
or I'm getting out of work super late that I'm not gonna do the 2 hour drive.
yeah,
It's just like it's always 2.5, 3 hours. I'll be like, D, please, bro.
yeah,
Like, find
yeah.
something closer, bro.
We were we didn't carpool much, but when we did, we had some fun. But it was about 4.5 hours, sometimes five for us, depending if they would change locations, and it would take the entire weekend. You're leaving 8 9 a.m. To get to the venue. You're losing an hour on your way back home because you're gaining an hour on the way there because it's Central Time. You're not getting out of there until about midnight, 1 a.m. Eastern Time. You're not getting
Yeah.
home until 5 a.m. But that was a grind that I needed to grind and learn, just as paying my dues and gaining respect in the industry of those that have been doing this for years and years. And I can't bitch about a 5 hour drive at that point because there's been people doing it for decades,
No,
making
it's
less.
not that. It's more of the safety. Like, Donnie's been into a car accident already
Yeah,
coming
for
back,
sure.
being super
Yep.
tired. And
You got to get that
I've
hotel
told him,
sometimes.
yeah, I've told him, bro, it doesn't matter if you just want to pull over and
Nope.
just
You're
lay
better
down.
off. You're
Yeah,
better
like,
off.
just lay down. But the thing is, his early schedule, because he's a bakery manager. He has to be
Yep.
there so early.
Yep.
So it's like he'll leave the show, he'll get home at 1, 2 in the morning, go to sleep, wake up at 4 and do it all over again. And I
Yeah.
just can't. I'm too sick for it. Like, I know you heard my kidneys are a little fucked up right now, but I've been getting better. But the point is, I'm not that. I did it for CCW Miami, and
Yeah.
oh god, I had a carpool guy.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to the Jurassic Juggernaut, and his brother Giovanni used to drive back, so it was a little bit different, but that's 4.5 hours. But
Yeah.
real quick, your business, what do you do?
Yeah, so I wrap cars. I own a business here in Jacksonville where we do two different kind of wraps, full vehicle modifications. It's something that helped me get out of a homeless lifestyle that I had in 2012. When I moved to Florida at the age of 22, I had nothing except the clothes that I stuffed in the trunk of a Mustang that I was financing from a bank, and I was 3 months late on, and they were trying to
Mm,
find me. And I was on the
mm.
run from that bank because that's all I had to my name. I made some bad life decisions as I was 22, living in right outside of Buffalo, New York, and decided I wanted a new
Oh,
start. So, and I came down to Florida as with nothing and just wanted to start fresh. And I found a hobby, found a part-time job in Verizon Wireless, which ended up being full-time. And then I always loved cars and modifying them, and it got to the point where the hobby became a business, and that business, was better when I was doing it at Verizon. And since 2016, I've been self-employed here in Jacksonville, just growing my business as well as trying to grow being a pro wrestler.
before I go back to the car wraps, because you just
Yeah,
said Buffalo.
yeah.
Do you know Sal's Pizzeria on Main Street?
I know Sal's. Yeah, there's
You know
there's like two
Sal's
different ones now.
Pizzeria? No, there's the original Sal's.
I
Across,
don't know if I know the original, but I know of a Sal's. I don't know if it's the original or not.
across the street from the old Crush, what is it? I think it was called Crush or something like that. The
The club.
the club, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That
That guy,
that club's been named like two different things now. So.
that's okay. But if you know Sal's Pizzeria, that's family right there.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
That's
Very
family.
nice.
Big Walter, family, long time, like direct family. Like, he's one of my cousins on the Dominican side. He's been
Nice.
out
Okay.
there. Yeah, he's been out there since early 2000s. I actually went to Buffalo University to wrestle. That's why I said,
Oh,
"Whoa,
okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
yeah, yeah." It was too cold for me, brother. I did 2 years.
Yeah.
It was too cold for me, son.
Yeah.
I
That's that.
couldn't do it, man. I tried hard, man.
I
That's
went
what
up
I
there this
heard.
past December to go to a Bills game and just kind of spend some time in the snow because I haven't in so many years. And it's not bad when you're in it for 2 or 3 days. Have a couple drinks with the boys. Be a kid again out there. Relive some of my childhood memories in some of the places. But yeah, it's not something I could make long term. And also the honestly the indie wrestling scene there is so. It's good, but it's not as widespread like it is here, where you can drive an hour in any direction and you can find a promotion. Up there, there's only like one or two because of the athletic association or whatever it is, and
So
it's
most of
hard.
those guys go to Jersey or they go to
Yeah,
Canada.
yeah,
And
it's hard to run in New York.
yeah. So either you have to go completely down and like try to get down with HOG or
Yeah,
ECPW, or I think there's another Long Island promotion. Other than that, everything is Jersey.
yeah,
But I do like to commend the Jersey promotions because they have finally weeded out their chaos. Before before Florida's chaos, everything was Jersey. Everything was Jersey, Jersey, Jersey. Everything was Jersey.
yeah,
They were able to clean it out. So you have your trifecta promotion, which is like three promotions in one, like
yep,
and these promotions actually promote each other.
yep,
So you'll constantly see different flyers. They don't run on the same date. Um, then you have shadows out there. Remember my old company, Shadow?
yep.
Um,
SWA or Shadow Wrestling Alliance, was that what it was?
Shadow
Yes.
Wrestling Lions.
Yep,
They're doing things over there. And then you have Jason Knight is opening something over there, which I'm still worried like to see what he's doing, like to see
yeah,
how it turns out because he's like in a very weird area to
yeah,
try to draw. But with that said and done, there's I think about seven good companies that draw in the 200s,
yeah,
not lower 30s or that backyard
yeah,
drawing 30 people a crowd thing that doesn't exist anymore in Jersey. Even though they don't have an athletic commission, just
yeah.
that's it. It doesn't exist. Like the schools, there's no more opening schools and none of that. That's it. It's like
Good,
back to the basics.
good.
That's what
And
we're trying to accomplish here in
yeah,
Florida. If we could
And
get rid
in
of
a
some people.
segue to that, El Rey, there are some quality schools that are in Florida all over the state where
Very good
you
ones
can
too.
you can if you're willing to pay out of your pocket and pay for good training, you will get good training. What I can recommend anybody that's looking for a start here in the North Florida area, there's a company DCCW ran by the Penders. Um,
Okay, they're pretty good too.
Wonderful people. They run some wonderful shows. Very, 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 very Christian. They're just wonderful people, and they actually do run a free school, but your payment is help building the promotion, going out and flyering, doing the footwork as a student, and I owe them a lot of credit because they helped
They
me transition.
they probably don't want to pay because they're Christian.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
yeah, it's a
they're
giving
they're
back
very
to the
good people.
community. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
very, very good people.
you said your business, right? And then you
Yeah,
mentioned you should pay. So here's something that I always say. If you trying to cut corners, and I'm pretty sure in the rap, I know a little bit about rapping. I don't know too much, but I'm pretty sure it's the same concept. If you pay for shit, you get shit. So
yeah,
basically, these wrestlers don't want to pay for training, so they get
yeah,
shitty training and they get
yep,
shitty morals, and that's where they stay in the backyard. But if you pay for
yep,
high quality training and invest in yourself, then you go places and do.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure you get those guys that come in and be like, "I got $500. What can you do for $500?" When
yeah.
the going rate to a car is probably like, I don't even know. I'm gonna ask you what's the going rate. I'm
So
just
there's
thinking.
two different kind of wraps. You have the liquid wrap, which is what I started off on, which is your more budget friendly. It's a quick process. It's only like matte finishes. You're not going to get it super shiny. It's great for somebody that's on a budget and just wants to change up their car, but not picky, like not overly anal, because that's when you get into vinyl wrap, which starts around like 3 grand to 3,500. There's different
Mm.
levels of it, and that's something I have to explain to my customers. If you're super picky, you're going to want to go with the more expensive route. If you can't afford it, then you can't be upset with what you get. And that's the same thing when it comes to professional wrestling. If you want good training, it's going to come with a cost. If you want to do these free trainings, exclusion of the penders, because I learned more about grappling and chain wrestling from the penders than I did any other school. But it's definitely a get what you pay for, and I want to speak on that as well in the manner of, as a wrestler going to promotions. um I'm not going to, shit on anybody and anybody's rates or what people are asking to wrestle. I want $100, I want $150, blah blah blah. If you know anything about the business, you're not going to make money. Promoters don't make money. You got to be realistic with your rates as well. I think a good starting rate for somebody low, if you're doing local, is anywhere from 25 to $50, because that's, you're bringing 2 to 5 people to a show. You're covering your rate at that point. Once you start asking for 3 digits, you're either traveling very far and you've already, established yourself, or you can, bring people and tell a story, and you're doing those promos. So that's why, I try to keep myself realistic. I'm not a big superstar, I know that, but I know the work ethic that I'll put in the ring and outside of the ring of helping promote a promotion. And at this point, man, I've been here for this is my 13th year in Florida. I got connections all over. I did a show with Tyler, who was on here not too long ago with you, and we did a show in the Ocala-ish area. I forgot where it was, and I brought 4 people.
My old venue.
Yeah,
Tyler's
yeah.
coming back, by the way. I know you
Good,
heard him.
good. And I owe that man an apology, because I gave him a lot of shit under frustration and heat that I had because of what happened, and which I'm not going to go into that. What happened back then happened back then, but a
Hey,
lot of
brother,
the
but at the same time too, it's about forgiveness, and
yeah,
we're past
for
all
sure,
that. Like, you know
for
what I
sure.
mean? Like a lot of these guys, like, I'm just gonna let you know, um, just something, that if I say right now, just off your head, you're gonna be like, no way. But me and a certain female somebody made peace.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, like out of nowhere, like,
Yeah,
hey, let's talk this out. We're both adults. I'm
yeah,
tired of, like, you know what I mean? And when we got down to it, we both in the middle of the conversation was like, dude, you know how this really started? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? But nah, back to T, yeah. So T's coming back, and I want to keep this positive vibe where, like, people
for
stop,
sure.
like, you know what I mean? Like, he ain't do nothing wrong, you know what I mean? He was just trying.
Yeah.
But
And in order to be successful, you got to fail. And sometimes you got to fail multiple times.
yes,
We've all
yes,
done it.
yes.
It's just making sure you don't make the same mistakes over and over again. And if you make other mistakes that you didn't make before, it happens. But he's a really nice guy. He has a great family. Um, I hate ending things on bad terms, but sometimes that shit happens in this industry. But you get over it, right? Heat of the moment stuff. You get over it. I wish him the best of luck. And even from the school that I came from, when I came out of there, man, I was vengeful. I had a lot of built up anger. I was told, I couldn't draw a dime with a pencil, was what I was told,
Oh,
which
they
was
told you that?
yeah, which was my
Well, I don't know what school told you that, but I
yeah,
got paperwork saying that
yeah,
this guy has drawn me money, son.
yeah.
So whoever said you can't draw money, I don't know, bro. We made some money with easy attitude. But go
But
ahead. I ain't mean
at the
to.
same time, man, that was 3 years ago, and I that chip is off my shoulder. It's something I won't ever forget, because it still fuels me to become better. Because you need that fuel. I think you
Yeah,
always
you
need
need
that
that
fuel.
negativity, bro.
Yeah. So, but I used to bash that place to everybody at all times, online and everything, and I don't now, because, well, I've just kind of grown up and let them do their thing. If that trainer slash promoter ever wanted to just sit down, have lunch, have bygones be bygones, and just shake hands, I would love to. From what I've heard, he's not really the type to do that, and that is what it
He
is.
has since lost. Yeah.
But it is what it is. But no, man, I'm really happy with the promotions that I have been running with. EGCW out in Orlando has been fun.
I wish they'll
Lewis,
do more shows,
dude,
but
me too. I'm their current hardcore champion. I brought hardcore back to the Extreme brand before they weren't too hardcore. Just a few weeks ago, me and I can't think of his work name, so I'm not going to shoot his shoot name out there, but me and dude had a blast beating the hell out of each other with everything from Legos to chairs to crutches. It was a blast. I
I
love
think it's
working with
more of
him.
a because so I did the first couple of EGCWs, and then he
Yeah.
became I don't even know if they buy monthly anymore. I just
Nah.
know I just know he started doing 4 shows a month. I mean, 4 shows a year. I think it was
Yeah.
6 shows a year, then 4 shows a year. Then in the beginning, I wasn't understanding it, and then now this year, like when I'm trying to do this rebrand and before me and my partner made an agreement, the first thing I said was, "Can I just do 4 shows a year?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Wait a minute, didn't you didn't
Yeah.
you make fun of Orlando for doing that?" And I'm like, maybe it's the stress, because it does take a lot. But like, and
Yeah.
then especially with him, like he doesn't have like real help. It's just him and his wife
Yep.
doing absolutely everything. So, he puts on a good show. He has like a good production, smoke. He has what is it, the little Titantron thing too.
He
He has
the
almost
venue is
everything. Yeah,
the venue is beautiful too. You feel like you're in you're at a professional show in the back. It is the biggest backstage that I've ever been a part of, which I
Del
love. You got room.
Deltona, Deltona,
Yeah,
the one.
yeah.
Yeah,
You got room to move around in there, which I've been in closets basically getting dressed. Intense. Thanks, Thump.
yeah.
Intense in fields, Thump. Um, but no, man, that's been a blast. But it comes down to quality over quantity as a promoter and as a worker. In 2022, when I was on that rage, I was trying to work 3 days a week, Friday, Saturday, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I did that from April or May to like November, December, and I regretted the shit out of it because
I did that so much
whew,
too. Who stopped you?
me, my
You
body,
stopped you?
my body stopped me. It just got to a point where I was also looking at the big picture, man. I'm doing shows in front of 15 people in the backyard of VFWs. To the point of then I'm doing shows with USWA in front of 150 to 200 people in these armories. So which one would I rather do? So it's like, all right, I need to keep myself healthy for these more quality shows that are also paying more, to just make sure I'm taking the most out of my body. Because man, I'm 35 years old now. Every booking needs to be a quality booking or lead to something of quality at this point. I'm not expecting to get a contract by a big company. However, I do expect to leave an impact on this industry that is a positive one. And if I'm just going out here and just beating the shit out of myself for pennies or sometimes for nothing just to have a match, I won't. And that's what I preach to a lot of my peers that are in the locker rooms that are younger than me, that may have been doing it longer than me, but still younger than me. Because I got in this business at the age of 30. So I got a very late start. So there might be a 25-year-old that's been doing this for 7 years. And I see them working, Joe Schmo's show with 9 people on a low boy in dirt. And I'm just like, what are you doing? You're talented. This promotion at 45 minutes down the road is more successful, more professional. You got to go with the quality over quantity, because at the end of the day, nobody's watching that shit that you're doing, in the backyard.
That's why I've been trying to change the culture. It's been bro, it's been a battle for me, like changing the culture here in Florida. It's been
Yeah,
a battle, bro. Like hardcore.
yeah.
Like I will argue with so many promoters, and then months later, they'll hit me back up like, "Fuck, I should have seen it your way. I'm sorry." You
Can
feel
I
me?
can I give
Because
some
it's
advice as well to some of these
yeah.
promoters, El Rey? If you are a show and you're struggling to get numbers, stop using white chairs, because when I watch your videos of your promotion,
All you see is the white chairs.
all I see is the white chairs, empty white chairs.
No, it's not. So the best thing I want to give every promoter out here, and it's not really North Florida. A lot of those promoters already hit me up, and I'm taking something off of them, okay?
Yeah.
Because that's why they don't have all this drama. They had the drama before, they don't have it. So like you have to break up the cliques, okay?
Yes.
You have to break up the clicks. And when
Yep.
I mean by clicks, it is so obvious what are the clicks just by looking at flyers.
Yeah.
If you look at some flyers and you see it's the same people on the same flyer, and all that changes the top lettering. Like one day is ABC and then tomorrow is CDF. That's when you know it's an
Yeah.
issue and there's not a problem. And then it just pisses me off because I used to be that guy to do all the every show you give me, every show you give me. I was hungry like that. I got hurt. I started doing the manager gimmick. Then I got my little break in Florida again, and I just started doing shows after shows after shows after shows after shows. Then I got blessed. I got to go do CCW under Pablo Marquez. But Pablo cut that shit out like real quick. Like,
Yeah.
you feel me? Like, I went to Tennessee, and the following week I was like, "Hey Pablo, I'm booked next week," and he was like, "For what?" I was like, I'm not booked next week. He was like, dude, that you just did something today. You want next fucking weekend too? Like,
Yeah.
take your body a rest, bro. I can't play. He was like, I know I got shows every weekend, dog, but I also got 60 students. I gotta
Yeah.
rotate this bitch. So I didn't understand it at the time, but then I kind of understood. Like, so I wasn't out. They had 4 shows a month, so I only did two a month, which you got to think about is still good
Yeah.
compared to all the traveling and stuff that they did. And I diluted myself where some people would be like, oh, you're not getting booked anymore. Oh, you're not getting booked anymore. No, it's number one, I'm not having fun. And number two, I'd rather do things that are meaningful.
Yeah.
Like,
That was another thing that I made a decision of. If I'm not going to a let's say if I'm not going to somebody that's established like the Love of Live charity or USWA, I'm not going to do a show that there isn't some kind of footage, because if I'm just going out there and working for 15, 20 people, okay, I might sell some t-shirts, make a little bit of money, but I'm not really learning. I'm not able to look back and see what I did, and I don't have footage to share, because at the end of the day, when you're trying to sell yourself to a promotion that you've never been to, they want to see footage of you. And if I'm working all these Joe Schmo shows that have no footage of me, how am I supposed to show you footage of what I
yep,
can do? So
yep,
I that's another thing of like my criteria. It's almost like when you're buying a house or buying a car. There's certain things that you look for, and that's how it is with promotions. And I feel like I've done a pretty good job of that with the promotions that I work with. All of them either have a YouTube channel and every show is broadcasted, or they do it over on Facebook. USWA, EGCW, Love Alive Charity, CWF live streams their shows right on Facebook with commentary. Like they do a
yeah. That's why I've been wanting to go over there because I be hearing Donnie on commentary, and I'd be like, you
they
motherfucker.
there's a lot of positive out there, but I also understand there's up and coming promotions that are just starting, that aren't there yet, and that's where you have to be honest as a promoter, and as a wrestler, of hey, you may not gain what you need to gain now, but you could long term, and this is why. And then that's up to you, to believe in them, and if that's what you want to do. But I've kind of made my bed up in this section of the state, so to say. I still like going down to Central and down towards Tampa for the right promotions. I
I
still
would
have
still, yeah, I would
a
still
lot
give
of
it a dude.
yeah, I
Dude,
still have a lot of people
Tampa's
I
not
call
a
family.
whole shit show.
Mm-mm.
One show, if you can do the show, if you hit him up, he's always doing something fucking incredible. Tampa Bay Pro,
I was just going to
Dax and
say that.
them.
Yeah,
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 Dax and them, they do really good work over there.
yeah.
Most of the stuff right now when in Tampa is just going on with the I
It's
Believe
just
kids and all that
it's
other
a
stuff.
small shit,
Yeah, it's
man.
just a small shit thing.
Yeah,
But like when it comes to like Dax and like the Brian Outer shows, the
they don't take
FTW
any
shows,
shit.
yeah, they do real big numbers because those kids want to be on the show.
Yeah,
I feel like when you're in a promotion, it's kind of like so like let me see. I got to give you like a better example. I don't have to give you a fucking example because you worked for me before. You see the way I do shit is based on how you could get paid, bro. If you bring me so many people to a show and they all here, and you
yeah,
seen my sister, you seen family members will go around and ask everybody who you here to see, who you here to see, who you here to see, who you
yeah,
here to see. If you are the draw, you'll get your money.
for sure.
Like I've done it. Like I personally will not get paid to give somebody else money. And my theory is just me as a promoter. I don't mind not getting paid to put money in your pocket, but you helping me. I want to go home early too. Like
Right,
I'm not running out that door, bro. Like
right,
straight up, I'm not cleaning up, none of that,
right.
bro. Like, yeah, if I'm gonna take all the hits, yo, I'm going out the same time as y'all. No one's leaving before me.
No,
But
yeah, you're 100% right. But no, I just staying on the positivity route. I love everything that I'm seeing on this side. I kind of have filtered out all the others. I
that's
actually
good.
I talked to another guy up here. I'm dealing with a little bit of injury right now. I think next month or the month after, I'll be going through a surgery that's not going to allow me to work for a couple months. And with that being said, though, I still want to have a part in the industry. So I got with
Do
a
promos. Be Vernon's
yeah,
manager on the You know what I mean? You can still be Vernon's manager while he's still. Yeah, y'all don't got to give up the titles fast. You know what I mean?
Well, the good thing about Pope shows is we only do about 4 a year, 4 or 5, so that gives me some recoup
All
time.
right.
This will be fixed and ready to go by the time we have our next show. But man, I came up with a crazy idea. Is I would love to run one show myself and to see if I can do it, but the right way. So my cousin, he's been in the business now 25, 26 years. He's Blaine Rage here in Jacksonville. He used to run shows at the Ritz. It was a beach bar, and it was just one-offs here and there. He was close with the owner of the place, and man, they would have 200 plus people, plus the people walking by like, oh shit, there's pro wrestling because it's right on the beach, right in the strip of bars. And I was talking to another local guy that has done that successfully, and I don't want to be a promoter. I don't want to own a company, but it would be cool during some downtime just to see if I can do it, throw something together, give back to some of the boys that have given me knowledge throughout these years, to book them for something really fun, and kind of have that. And nothing, it's kind of, we're in the chapter 1 of doing that. Because if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. If it takes 6 months, if it takes 2 years to do it, I'm going to make sure I do it right. Because I don't want to do it a second time. I want to just do it once, and I want to do it and make sure it's fun.
I feel what you're saying. It's like, bro, I've been talking to a lot of promoters about closing their companies and just aligning with each other.
Sometimes it's smarter, man.
Like, it makes no sense. There was a dude that was going to run here, right? Right now, I don't care. There's a guy right now I really want to save. I really want to save him before his show starts. He's already a couple $1,000s in.
Oof.
He's using a booker that I know is a fucking scam artist. They're using a venue that does not draw. They're in the part of Marion County that is the hood. If the guy's telling him he's dropping flyers there, I service that area. It's like it's the Puerto Rican section of Marion Oaks, where it's like, dog, you got to be from New York or you got to be from Philly or that area to walk around with your nuts hanging. You're just not dropping flyers because there's only a couple of places to drop the flyers. Right. And all those people there call me when they drop flyers like, hey, we just threw a stack out, and send me pictures. And it's because they don't know them and they know the booker. So I've been waiting to talk to this guy. I know they got a 14x14 ring. I seen his card and stuff. Oof. But then I'm like, I'm not going to waste my time. Because they're so far deep into it. The first thing he's going to tell me is, yeah, the booker said you're jealous because you don't want to be a part of this. And they start you don't want to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it be. Let it be. And then when it falls, I'm going to tell them, look, buddy, your best bet is just link up with the rest of these other guys. You got money. Look, if you got money to put $3,000 or $4,000 in for a show that's not going to draw, put it in for a company that will draw.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Get some kind of stake into it.
Yeah, put something into it. Like, I've been doing that for a little bit right now since I haven't been promoting shows. I've been sponsoring some shows. Like, sometimes I'll give up my ring or sometimes I'll put up money and stuff like that, because I need to see a feedback for me. And also I need to see a feedback for the industry. So I'll give up $200-$300 just to pay for a couple of wrestlers or whatever. I don't ask for them to do nothing but shoot good promos and fucking not fuck up in the ring or look stupid. Like, honestly, I'm paying for somebody to get up in the ring and say, this match is sponsored by Ring Fever. I can fucking do it myself. I got my own ring. But I'm doing it for the enlightenment, the embetterment, of the industry. But I tell these other guys, like, dude, you're not making money. You're wasting $5,000-$6,000 a month. Go put that somewhere else. Like the people from Melbourne, all those fake companies, now they all work with Alex Red. That's why they draw. That's why they draw so much. If people think the pizza man can afford that $10,000, payroll, no, it's a conglomerate of neighborhood people that said, you know what, we believe in this kid. We're gonna stop running against him. We're gonna run with him, because at the end of the day, he's providing a service for our kids to have stuff to do on the weekend. Like I've been telling Tyler, dude, you did good in Marion County. Yeah, you did awesome out here. The fuck you went to D-Land for? Yeah. The fuck you went to Leesburg for? That's not your business to go over there. We don't have shit to do in Marion County, Like, that's why people, when they see my name or my flyer it's that local attachment. Oh, we know who that is. Same thing with you in Jacksonville. When they see your name, your flyer, it's like, oh, we know CB. Yo, that's such and such from over there. That's
Yep.
the rap guy. You know what I mean? Oh, that's the guy we be seeing in Publix, or that's the dude we just seen in Family Dollar. So it's more like a bond between people. But in Tampa, bro, it's a cult.
Yeah.
Because in Tampa, it's the same fans that go to the same show.
Yeah. So the funny thing is when I was working out in the Panhandle, I was working 2 or 3 different promotions out there in Panhandle up into Alabama, and it was kind of empowering and acknowledgement that I would see some of the same fans, and they would know me from these other shows, and they would ask me, how things are going. That gave me a lot of confidence, and I feel like being up here in Jacksonville, that'd be good to do. And another thing that I want to incorporate in it is, I'm definitely not doing it for money. That's hell no. But it would be cool to have other organizations there at the event with tables set up. Either it's the Humane Society, either it's the Boys and Girls Club with
put your belt up on the line.
Yeah, exactly.
Have a title match.
Yep. Just also, having other parts of the community there to, get their names out there that could benefit from it as well. But that's in the future. I'm still a pro wrestler. I don't want to be a promoter.
You could, man. There's so many ways you could do it and not like actually be a promoter. Like, dude, like my first shadow show in Leesburg, I didn't have a title.
Yeah.
I didn't have a title. So what was the main event? Vince Steele versus Brian Idol for the big time pro wrestling title. Yeah. What's big time pro wrestling? It's a company in West Virginia.
Right.
They say use our title, big man. That's our champion. Yeah,
especially when you're getting the eyes of the casual fan. They don't know that. They just know it's a championship on the line.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna sit there and be like, no, that's from another company, and we're such and such, and we don't. Man, the common fan don't care. They just like the pretty belt. You know what I mean? Especially kids.
Yeah.
Especially kids. I got belts in the house, man. You did I be walking into Boys and Girls giving autographs and am I the Southern heavyweight champion?
No. Hell no. But they don't.
No. No. I'm more of the trash talk champion,
Right.
But if that's what I got to do to convince 30, man, you've been there for the free report card. You know what I mean? If you could give me a good report card, I'll give you a show.
Yep.
I'll give you a show. I'll put my money in there.
Yeah.
Because I had that when I was growing up, and they don't have that out here.
Yeah.
I had the. You from New York? I had the Police Athletic League. I had all that shit growing up, yo.
Yeah, it's there is a lot of positive up here, and that's why I like it, because this is positive. Like I was saying, USWA pulls no punches. They're in an military armory where they're pulling 150 people at least.
That's in Jacksonville, right? I hear them a lot. I feel like I met their promoter, but I lost contact with them. I feel like I met him at the Pope show.
Possibly. He does color commentary at times as well as the ring announcer. So, USWA is very, very, very of high quality up here, and they know what they're doing. But then you have DCCW, which is the Penders, right in McClenny, right on the outside of Jacksonville.
Yeah, they clean up. There was some stuff I didn't like about them in the beginning, but they cleaned up.
They have a great roster. I worked with them for a couple years. They run some amazing shows. There's a lot of positivity up here in this section of the state, and I hope that doing this show, and hopefully some guys that maybe work down there that want to get away from some of that negativity. It's not always like that. There is positive elsewhere, and at the same time,
keep them up here, bro. Don't bring that poison in the north, bro. Y'all good over there. Don't be inviting these clouds to your show, bro. Keep that where you're at, bro. Like, do not go to USWA. Do not go there, bro.
Yeah, no drama.
You leave them people alone, man. They got their own fans, bro.
You yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, everybody. There, man. You do what's asked of you, and everybody has a great time. So, but no, it's once this surgery's done, I'm going to be 100% full in like I was in 2022. Not doing 3 days a week again, but really trying to go out there and find even more promotions. There's a couple that I've seen Kevin Cantrell do, who is someone that my cousin came up with, that I've learned from now as a second generation.
His son you shared up too?
Who's
you
that?
Remember Draven?
Yeah.
Draven's doing some stuff in Pennsylvania. It's a
Good
different
for him.
marker.
Very good person.
You
Very
know,
good person.
it's a different market. It's probably, you know, it'll probably be weird for you 1 or 2 times when you go up there, but it'll be a
Yeah.
different experience. You
It's
know,
usually how it is. You
Yeah.
got to make sure if people don't know you, you got to make sure by the time you leave that ring, they remember you.
Mhm.
And that's kind of the rule of thumb. But yeah, man, it's been fun. Going to continue trucking, take care of my body, get in better shape, and
I
just keep
want to
doing it.
congratulate you before we get off. I heard you got married.
I did, yes, October 27th this year. It was had some of the boys there too, which was cool. Some of the
Is she
guys
a
that I went to school with.
baker or is she a cooker? Which one?
Cook. We
A
don't really
cook.
bake
All right.
much. Baking takes too fucking long, man. We
Yeah.
cook.
What is she? What's her nationality?
German, and she has like a touch of Puerto Rican, so she flies that flag because of it.
Okay,
So
so
yeah,
the food game is outrageous in the
yeah,
house.
very good cook, which is why I need to get back in better shape.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I've been noticing a little bit. I call it the honeymoon weight.
Yeah, for sure. That, with the arm injuries, I haven't been able to get in the gym like I want to, and it's just become very depressing. So I honestly I've been injured since January of 24. So I'm over a year with these injuries, just putting them off, and now it's finally time. All right, let's go under the needle, get this crap done, rehab, and go right back at it harder than ever because I'm not getting any younger.
Nah,
So
it affects you in the long run. Like my neck, it took me so long. Like I just kept putting off my neck,
yeah,
And honestly, if I would have took care of it in the very beginning, it
yeah,
wouldn't be the way it is.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and it's other things too that cause now. For me, waiting so long has caused other issues now.
for sure.
And dude, it's and you guys, you did. I'm not disrespecting you in any sort of way. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna ask you background. Was it always wrestling? Because I had a hint that you used to play baseball too, but I wasn't
So
sure.
it wasn't base. I never played baseball, but it was basketball. It was
Okay.
football. It was everything. I was always a wrestling fan. I've been a wrestling fan since the first show that I remember watching at the age of 6 or 7. I'm sure I was watching before that. Was Saturday night. The WWE Saturday night show. I can't think of
But
it
did
off the
you
top
do
of my head.
high
Soccer
school
on Saturday night.
baseball or high school basketball or anything like
High
that?
school basketball, middle school, elementary basketball, soccer,
Okay.
football. I was in
Because
all that.
that's where your athletic ability comes in. So
Yeah,
mine's unfortunately starts in the fucking ring.
yeah,
You feel me? Like when I look at my life and like now that I go to the doctor now, I'm taking care of myself. Like
yeah.
I just had an MRI done. I just had a CAT scan done because I'm about to pull a stunt. I'm about to do a big publicity stunt the next
I
couple of
bet you
months.
are.
Yeah, so I'm
You
getting
do that
myself
almost every
ready.
day on Facebook, man.
Yeah, no, Facebook is a joke for me. But
Yeah,
I've been working out hard. The new job that I have now consists of me constantly being outside and
yeah.
so the workout regimen is gonna change. I give myself maybe 6 or 7 months where I'll see like a
Good.
big body difference.
One
But
thing that
the
I can really thank though in high school ball that I think helps me now beyond athleticism, beyond physicality, is the mental side of it. Of for one, discipline of never giving up. When
yeah,
I
uh,
first started in this, when you first start training, it fucking sucks. And many times I felt like giving up, and I would revert back to those times in football where you're doing stuff where you just want to give up, but you don't. Two is the camaraderie. You respect those that you're in the locker room with. You give them the respect that they deserve. You shake everybody's hand, you introduce yourself, and at the end of the night, you thank everybody for their hard work, and you wish everybody safe travels. There's a camaraderie there that you learn at an early age, and then respecting your coaches, right? Respecting the people that give you that opportunity. At that point, as coaches, now it's promoters. It doesn't matter how bad of a show you had, that promoter took a chance on you. Thank that promoter, and hopefully you go back if you want to go back. So I think that's where
self
high school.
promote,
Oh, 100%. You have to promote
self
yourself
promote.
because nobody else is going to love you like you can as a promoter.
No,
You
no.
know, and nobody else is going to bury you like you can either at the same time. You're going to bury the shit out of
Yeah,
yourself more
so
than
back
anybody
to
else can.
burying, you said your arms. So back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
So I started off doing boxing, 100 and maybe like 146 amateur fights, Greco-Roman wrestling, freestyle wrestling. This is what happens when you have HDD and you graduate. You have nothing to fucking do but work. You just want to do anything to stay active. You know what I mean? Because that's what I have. I just need to stay active. So you do MMA when MMA comes out. Now you start doing professional wrestling because the opportunity is there. Now you're doing managing. And when you go to the hospital, you ever seen Batman when they do the X-ray?
Yeah.
That's me explaining to the doctor, like, you got a torn rotator cuff. These ribs were screwed in. Man, I see. What the hell is this? And why do you have this? And you're only 40 years old. Well, bro, and you start telling them what? Yeah, I boxed. I did this. So then they'll be like, all right, you need a CTE scan. We need to see if you're fucking normal. Yeah. So my whole thing is, with all that said and done, I just encourage people, like, dude, stop fucking pushing your body so much. Like, it's not really worth it. I'm hurting. You're hurting. We learned the hard way. Well, not really you, because you're not really. It's more of your elbow thing. It's not.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, the injuries that I have were 100% preventable. Yeah. And it wasn't where I could blame it on anybody else. It's just one of them happened in the gym, to be honest with you, and I ignored it. And then I was in a match where I had to body slam a guy much larger than me,
and you felt it going up or coming down.
Well, I wasn't using the arm that was initially hurt, so I used all his weight on my other arm and messed up the other arm on the way up. So
Jesus.
If I would have just taken the time, got my other arm fixed, it was nobody's fault but my own. So it's, it is what it is. But man, I'll tell you what, El Ray, no matter if I have one more match or if I have 1,000 more matches, I can say what I've done so far. I got into this industry to give back to an industry that gave me so much. What I always told my wife and other people was, if I can give a father and son, a mother and son, father and daughter, a memory that they can go home and talk about, that's what I always wanted to do and give back, because that's what was given to me. Myself. Yeah, myself and my late father, we didn't have much in common, but the two things we had in common was racing and wrestling, and those were the two things that we got to sit down and watch together when I was a kid and growing up before he passed. And that's something that we could share. And I know that there's other relationships out there with, parents and their kids. If I can offer that same thing, that's what I came in here to do. Everything else is a bonus.
I think from my eyes, because I haven't been to your other shows, I think you fell in love with it more.
Yes.
When you remember that grandmother that came with her little grandson at Adrenaline, and then after the show, she was like, I just walked by and I just bought the ticket, and my grandson is crazy over you. And you're just
it sounds familiar as hell.
Yeah, we took pictures. It was one of the Silver Spring Shores show. And I just watched you took care of this kid, and I'm like, yeah, he's gonna be back next month.
Yeah, that was actually my first show. I did quite a few different autographs and photos for that show. So that's what it's all about. And that
little kid was stoked. I think he was maybe 7. He was stoked. He was hype. I mean, he went back he just went for, I think it was his little school vacation with his grandmother. So he went back my grandmother took me to see wrestling. This is what I mean. He got stories for a whole month. You know?
The peak of that, where I had to start learning the business, was I was always about the kids, because you got to be, man. That's the future fan. That's the ones that are buying your merch. I was making the mistake of always saying yes, and there was a CWF show where it's intermission. I'm out there signing autographs, taking pictures. And this kid just says, can I have your necklace? And just off the top of my head, I'm like, yeah, sure, kid. Not even thinking about it. It was a $1,000 necklace my wife got me. And I'm just like, here you go. And she's just like, where'd your necklace go? And I was like, I gave it to a kid.
Wow.
I was like, shit. So, but at the end of the day, man, that's what it's been about, that the entire time, is making memories and being able to do that. And
so you're more of a baby face. I hate.
It's crazy, because I never was. I'm an athlete.
I know, but they just, it's the kids. It's no matter how you try. Well, maybe you got that John Cena look or something. I don't know what it is. Well, we could try to make you a heel, but it just doesn't work.
all throughout my training and leaving the school, I was a heel. And when I joined Adrenaline, I told Thump I wanted to be a babyface because I never did it before.
You know what it is to you. What I don't remember the girl's name off the top of my head. She's like the quad master, whatever. I gotta
Yeah, T Gaines, yeah,
T Gaines.
Quadzilla.
It's like T Gaines, bro. Like T Gaines could never be a heel.
It's hard for her. Yeah,
She can't. She
everybody
has the
loves her.
smile. Like
Yeah.
no matter what, like if you're like, so I know her from Magic City. So like she'll be the type of person you could be in a bad mood and she'll walk by with her smile and she'll be like, hi. And you'll be like, oh, hi. And then that's it. You're not mad anymore. You know, you're smiling. So that's a little thing with you too. Like, I can't see I could probably see it, but I can't really like.
I could show you some film from some of my old stuff where you could definitely see it. My favorite thing was just finding one person in the crowd.
Yeah, but I don't think you don't. I'm not thinking you're gonna get used to seeing kids cry.
No, no, that was never my thing. It was all about pissing off adults. That was
so with me. I get overboard, and the biggest pop, or I don't know what you could call it, my comeback. The biggest crowd that ever gave it to me back, that like made me give like all right, you know. Because I got to a point where I used to make all these kids cry, and then fuck you, you're not getting a shirt. It was like a thing for me, like a pride thing. Like, let's see who I could do tonight. Man, when I went to Huntington, West Virginia, I went with the full attitude of, I'm gonna make these fucking kids cry. Watch me. And I'm shooting a promo and I'm doing everything I got, and some kid was like, "Shut up, you fat Jack Sparrow!" And they're going in on me, and I was like, all right, let's change the momentum. But CB, you know, I'm glad you got married. I mean, happy wife, happy life. That's some good positivity, man. I'm glad the business is working out. It's been a long road, brother. Like, I know you for quite a while now. USWA, I'm glad they're blooming over there. CWF, they're blooming. Yep. I'm glad the Pope got his shit together with his charity. And you know, the good thing about it is, like I tell everybody, I'm not promoting the Pope because I want to be on his show or anything like that. I'm promoting it because the money goes somewhere. Doesn't go to his pocket.
Nope.
Okay. So there's things about me that you know. I don't rob from God's people. I don't steal from the church. I don't steal from veterans, and I damn well don't steal from homeless people or people with autism or charities or any sorts of nature.
Yeah.
So if you have time, do you know the website by hand so they could donate before we go off?
It's love-alive.org. If you go to the Love Alive charity on either on X or on Facebook, everything is there as well. That's also where you can buy tickets. You can also check them out. I believe it's on Cash App. That's how they take it as well, as Love-Alive Inc. INC. Anybody, if you're interested in donating, you can hit me up. I can send you all the links. If you're having any problem finding the links, I can send them to you that you can donate. All the money literally goes back to the community and the less fortunate in Jacksonville. And a cool thing as well is this Wednesday, which is, I don't even know what date that is. What is that? Like I don't know. But this coming Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, myself and the Pope Elijah Burke will be on Busted Open Radio, XM 156 at 10:30 a.m.
What's up.
Yeah, we'll be talking about the future. We'll talk about the present. We'll be talking about the show. We'll be talking about Shad Gaspard as well.
Who's going to be the host?
Obviously, Dave LaGreca and whoever's going to be there on Wednesdays. Wednesdays is usually it's either Tommy Dreamer, it's Bully, it's Mark Henry. That's usually who it is. They've actually been bringing on Bishop Dyer recently. Bishop Dyer, a.k.a. Crap, I can't think of what his WWE name was off the top of my head, but he just got released. The guy that Day's End was his finish. I can't think off the top of my head. Corbin. Baron Corbin.
Okay.
That's who Bishop Dyer is. He's been guest starring on there too. So cool thing is you get to talk to Dave, who's had this show for 15 years, and he's the biggest wrestling fan in the world. Plus, you know, whomever is the host on that day. So 10:30 a.m. You'll find myself and Pope on there putting everything over, and then this coming Saturday, that's coming up a week from today, the Murray Hill Baptist Church. You'll find myself and Vernon Black defending the Love Alive Charity Tag Team Championships. And then, if you haven't had enough of CB Attitude Cole Bohannon, the following day in Deltona at EGCW, I'll be defending the Hardcore Championship. So I'll be running double duty. And then Monday, I go in and schedule my surgery. So, I'm pushing hard.
It's a busy weekend.
Hard. It's going to be a very busy weekend.
No, I'm happy for you, brother. I'm happy for everything you got going on. I really, if you're listening to the show, you know, you got the fans that listen, and the fans don't want to tell people that they listen. Donate. I don't care if it's $5, $2.
Yeah.
Listen, if you hit up CB Attitude later on Facebook and you have some clothes you want to give up, some food you want to give up, I'm pretty sure the Pope could do something with it. All right.
Absolutely.
This is not somebody that I know, you know, outside of this is somebody I've investigated to make sure the money goes somewhere. So this is why I support it. I don't support people that we're doing this for cancer and you don't see the American Cancer Association or none of that. This money actually goes back to the neighborhood. You know, you could donate clothes, you could donate food. Hell, if you don't even want to go to the show, buy the ticket. The money still goes back to his cause, you know.
And if you're a worker and you're interested in working with the Love Alive charity, what really gets you in the door is showing that you care about the charity, is volunteering to do things, you know, donating to it, reaching out to the charity online and let them know that you're interested in working with them. One thing I learned is, as a nobody, because I was a nobody compared to a Pope Elijah Burke. It was an open door policy. If you're willing to invest in the charity, he's willing to give you a shot and invest in you, and then it's up to you to take that ball and run with it. And
I'll help you.
Anybody can do that.
Listen, I know several people that worked with him in the past. Layla Gray came out of there. You know, a couple of people have come out of the charity. He has worked with people who've given recommendations to other places. Like, you know, Culture Inc. used to wrestle there. I'm just like randomly just trying to think of other names of people that I
mean, right now, who we just beat for the tag team championships. You got the Russell twins.
The Russell twins wrestled there
too. Any given time, it's going to be on your televisions.
Yeah, they wrestled outside of Florida also.
Oh yeah, they've been on Ring of Honor. They've been on
Ring of Culture Inc.'s been on Reality of Wrestling. So it's not like he's not going to try with you. But brother, I'm happy for your marriage. I'm going to keep telling you that because Brittany hasn't figured out a date yet for us to get married. So that's what's taking us for so long. You feel me? But I did the hardest thing. I already dropped the ring, dog. So like, yo, here. You feel me? That's up to her.
You got to increase your budget.
Nah, we're about to get married Puerto Rican style, bro. I'm just about to pregnant her and just call it a day, bro. But definitely, I'm happy for your marriage. I'm happy for your success. If you've been listening to the show for the past several weeks, you may have thought Florida is underwater and there's always some sort of fire going on or controversy. Today, there was a little change of attitude with my friend CB Attitude, who came on and let us know. Fans in North Florida, they don't take that shit. They're not about that shit, but they're about that fun shit. You feel me? So make sure you catch them this week, next week, or later on tonight. I haven't decided yet. My next interview, besides you, this is going to be a fun one and a great one. He is a trainer also. It's going to be Rafael Gonzalez, Mr. Hound Dog, former IWA wrestler down in Puerto Rico, AMP owner and trainer. There's some controversy going around with him and his new venue. People are not feeling it. I'm feeling the idea. That's why I'm bringing him on. Before I let you go, dude, he wants to do a show for old people at the old folks' home, and people are mad about that. Like, come on. Can we argue about something else?
Yeah.
Honestly, like the guy wants to give back to these old folks that are doing nothing at their group home. He wants to do a show for them so they can have some. They don't do nothing but play bingo. You feel me? He wants to bring some entertainment, and we're arguing about that, CB. But don't worry.
Say anything, I've met Hound Dog 2 or 3 times in that area, and I've never had a negative experience with him.
Yeah, you know, he wants to give back to his community, but that's
a positive guy.
That's this week. We're going to talk about that with him. Thank you for coming on the show, brother.
Got it.
I love the attitude. When your next shirt comes out, let me know. I'm in there. Talk to these guys in USWA. Find out. I gotta get a better address, bro. I don't want to drive 2 hours.
Absolutely.
I don't want to drive 2 hours, bro. I want to see you, bro. I'm at the point where I just may fucking book you up here just to see you, bro. Like, you know what? I'm making my duty in the next 3 months to go down there and go catch you guys, because I actually get a lot of love up there. I actually get a lot of positivity. A lot of those guys up there, they watch the show. They tell me they watch it. They watch all my interviews. I don't get shit from North Florida. What I get from North Florida is that, yo, El Rey, check out my video. And by the way, that shit don't happen over here. So yeah. I appreciate you. I appreciate the positivity. Vernon Black, fuck you. I'll have you on the show as soon as possible. Yeah. You feel me? That's still my dog. And anything you want to say before we let go?
Man, you know, if I could say anything, it's love somebody every single day and love yourself. And if I may be an advocate of mental health, never let your mental health take a passenger seat, and just keep yourself well. If you're in a negative environment, change your environment, or you won't change. But until then, I'm CB Attitude, Cole Bohannon. You can find me on Twitter, Cole Bohannon38. Obviously on Facebook, Cole Bohannon. Pro Wrestling Tees, Cole Bohannon. And at any given time, anybody wants an opportunity to work with me, I'm down to work anywhere. I just don't do drama.
Yeah, baby. This was your host, Michael Array, and thank you for listening to Ring Fever. Yo, I'll catch you next week, bro. I'll
highlight you later, bro. I appreciate you, brother.
All right, one.
Yo.